What's going on everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the best heroes for heroes versus villains in Star Wars Battlefront 2. As we discussed before Christmas, we had a video on the best galactic assault heroes here on the channel, and you guys seem to really enjoy that one. So today of course it's time for heroes versus villains. Now this video, like always, will be my personal opinion, and I don't expect everyone to agree with the heroes and villains in this video. I'm just trying to help out those that may be struggling with their selections for heroes versus villains. Because as most experienced players know, there are some heroes that probably shouldn't be chosen for the game mode, and there are some that you should without a doubt be choosing without hesitation. So in this video I will be listing off 2 heroes and 2 villains for a bit of variety. Now guys, if you want to see more Battlefront 2 videos just like this one, then be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and be sure to comment below your go-to hero and villain for heroes versus villains. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Now kicking it off with the villains, we have Darth Vader as the first villain for today's video. Now, I've always known that Vader was a good villain for heroes versus villains, but I kind of just stayed away from him because I enjoy using Darth Maul, as I just find some of the other heroes to be a little bit more fun to use. But after putting in a bit of time with Vader, especially lately, it's just a no-brainer that he is the best villain to use for the game mode. In this particular game of heroes versus villains you're seeing in the background right now, I was able to take out all 4 heroes by myself about 3 or 4 times, and I don't even main Vader. I wouldn't even say that I'm great with him or anything like that. He is just undeniably a beast in all that heroes versus villains gameplay. The health and the abilities work in unison to create an almost unstoppable force, and like I said, you don't need to be skilled to use Vader. You don't even need his cards maxed out. Mine aren't even close, and I was able to tear it up with him. It's actually pretty scary to think what he would be like with his star cards fully upgraded, as every single ability he has serves its own unique purpose and are often most effective when used in unison. Now when the situation gets a little bit too much to handle, you can use the force choke, then send the saber throw at the enemy and finish them off with the focused rage. It is just that simple. It really does take a fair effort from your enemies to take you out if you play Vader right. You just gotta know when to use your abilities. It's as simple as that. Now the alternative villain we have for this video is Iden Versio. Now straight out, her pulse cannon is practically useless in heroes versus villains, so don't even really bother with that one. But what makes Iden so good is she is a stun villain. Heroes or villains with the ability to stun should not be overlooked in heroes versus villains. Incapacitating an enemy for a few seconds is probably the most useful thing in the game mode. Combining Iden's stun droid with her TL50 is one of the most effective ways of disposing of a hero from the villain's point of view. And one of the best things about Iden is, unlike practically all other villains, she can damage enemy heroes from the front that are using their lightsaber to block. And because her TL50 can deal a ton of damage to lightsaber users who are blocking, this gives her a leg up over pretty much all of the other villains. Her shield and pulse cannon abilities are probably ones that you'll find that you don't really need to use at all. It's all her blaster and her droid stun ability. It's all you need, and if Vader isn't available, then Iden is a very good alternative. Now onto the go-to hero for heroes versus villains, we have Rey. Now I have mained Rey in heroes versus villains for pretty much the entirety of Battlefront 2, and I haven't looked back even once. For me, she seems to be one of the best lightsaber heroes in all-out lightsaber mashing, which obviously heroes versus villains is quite a bit of that. She seems to get through her strikes much faster, and really the only villain you'll ever really have trouble with toe-to-toe is a smart player using Darth Vader. Much like Rey in Galactic Assault, you need to make use of her dash ability. The key is to do the dash strike, and as you make contact, start smashing away at the right trigger to get those lightsaber swings in. Don't dash through them and complete the animation, stop on impact and finish the villain off. It's one of the most effective ways to damage and kill villains in the game mode. And if they're smart enough to dodge out of the way after they've been hit, well then their health is probably low enough for you to easily take them on 1v1 anyway. Mind Trick is also a useful tool, but it's much better off used when enemies can't see you. Use the insight and take yourself off the radar and Mind Trick from an anonymous position and let the kills flurry on disoriented enemies. Rey is very easy to use when you know what you're doing, so I highly encourage players struggling for a choice to use Rey. And again, if you don't want to use her because you don't like her character in the films, then I'm sorry, but you kind of need to get a grip. But now onto the alternate hero for the light side, we have Lando. Now Lando is as good as he is for the sole reason Iden is as good as she is for the villains. He is of course a stun hero. Now Chewie is a stun hero as well, but I'd without a doubt recommend Lando over Chewie to anyone. Chewie has a buggy ground slam and his bowcaster is only good up close. Lando can use a bit of cover with his smoke, which leaves him with a big advantage as he's the only hero on the map who can actually see through the smoke. With an exception of Bossk using his predatory instincts, but the odds of that happening at the same time are very rare. Now Lando's sharpshot ability is also an absolute gem of an ability for this game mode. The simple method to easy kills with Lando is lay down his disabler, rinse the enemy with your X8 Night Sniper, and if that doesn't do the trick, the sharpshot ability sure as hell will. It's honestly as easy as that. Now some people might complain that I'm supporting the stun heroes as a lot of people are getting pretty annoyed with them at the moment, but at the end of the day, they're in the game, they aren't an exploit, they're just good common sense to use. So definitely do not sleep on Iden or Lando as they can do the job for the players of all skill levels. So guys, those are the best villains and the best heroes for heroes versus villains in my opinion. I honestly think players of all skill levels can excel with these 4 heroes, and I hope if you've been struggling for choices when it comes to heroes versus villains, that you've got a better insight to what can help you out a little bit more. But anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And remember to let me know in the comments below who the heroes are that you main in heroes versus villains. But anyway, that wraps it up for me today guys, so thank you all for watching and I'll see you all again real soon.